Nailed it.
Hey, I'm Bob.
I'm Jake.
We are
Nailed It, the podcast.
welcome to On the Road again. Jake and I are on our way to a show, our very first time at the Parx Casino in Shippensburg, PA.
This is our second attempt at doing an on-the-road episode. Had some technical difficulties the first time.
Which, folks, the episode you're going to be listening to / watching here that we're doing wouldn't have been the next one in our podcast queue. It was supposed to be our short clips interviews at the CPMAs, and unfortunately, 80% of that footage was unusable, whether it was audio or technical failure. So unfortunately, we'll probably get some sort of clip on TikTok with someone else's music laid over top of it.
Yeah.
You know, like a flashback video. So, and we are planning to do a full sit-down review of our time at CPMAs this year. So we're going to kind of gloss right past that for this little thing. But, of course, it's St. Paddy's Day weekend.
Yep.
It'll be in the 14th, Saturday the 14th. We are dressed in appropriate green to go do our show. We don't know what to expect here. It is a casino, so I have a solid expectation of casinos, but I've never actually done an acoustic gig in a casino before, so this will be interesting. We have a sound guy. We don't have to take anything. So show up, plug in, and play our thing.
It really is like a acoustic duo's wet dream of a show to just be able to show up at what we play 3 hours.
Yep.
Show up
11.
8 to 11. We don't have to bring our own sound. We have someone that runs it for us. We just plug in and play and just do what we do. That is like the ideal setup for a gig.
Right.
So I'm excited for it. I've been talking about it all week to some coworkers and obviously to Alex and stuff. And so like I'm pretty stoked about it.
Well, I think we're gonna have a good time. I mean, we always have a good time.
Yeah.
It's always interesting with shows like this what you play.
Yeah.
Like I imagine we'll be playing a pretty solid Ghostlight set list tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna be digging deep into some of our. Well, we like this song. Let's play
weird stuff.
Yeah, I don't see us doing much In Sync or Beartooth songs tonight. I don't think that's the crowd we're looking for. Although the In Sync I could be terribly wrong on. You know?
But it's also my first gig with my new guitar.
Yep, talk about it. Preach.
So actually, both of us were bestowed some bad news about our guitars.
Yes, our my very precious Breed Love, my first real acoustic guitar, not some cheap thing I bought somewhere. I've had for 15 years now. Oh, but you, of course, only had yours about a year, right?
I had mine about maybe a little over a year. I'd say maybe around 2 years I had mine. But, yeah, we were bestowed some bad news about both of our Breed Loves that they both need immense work done to them.
And unfortunately, yours was manufacturing defects. Folks, as we point out probably ad nauseum, we are both on the Breed Love Artist Program. Unfortunately, Jake bought that guitar before we were on the program, and not necessarily to say they would do anything about it, but not little they're going to do with the guitar they didn't sell to you.
Yeah.
Mine, on the other hand, yours is some repairs that our friend Eric Tipler, who Tipler Instrument Repair, he takes care of people. He's been taking care of my guitars for a little while now. That's why I had Jake, told Jake to get a hold of him. He insisted that yours is not worth the guitar to repair.
Yeah, he said the amount of time and money that would go into repairing it is more than what the guitar itself is
the
worth.
Value of the guitar. Whereas mine is worth fixing because it is a solid guitar, but the amount of money I'd have to put into it is not something I'm going to do right now. It would be double what I paid for, although I got that thing for a song. I knew some people that worked at Guitar Center at the time, so I got that thing, probably a third off of retail. It owes me nothing. I mean, that's been my number one guitar for years.
Yeah, you've played that guitar as a number one ever since I've known you.
Even when I got my second one, I was still playing that one.
Yeah.
I think it has a warmer tone. The wood's, aged a little. And
it just has that sound that you like.
And I like the newer one. I still think it has the same body, the same depth. It's not as low end as my original one. But
yeah,
that is my number one now because that's the only Breed Love I have that's playable. You, on the other hand, went kind of shopping on different brands.
I did. So I had wanted to try something new. I've tried many brands over the years. My first acoustic guitar was a Fender, one of the lower end Fender acoustics. Wasn't even an electric acoustic. I had to buy one of the
pickups.
Yeah, one of the pickups, the piano, whatever, the
piezo.
Yeah. So I had that. I sold that and had gotten, what did I get after that? I think it was my Epiphone Hummingbird. I had played an Epiphone Hummingbird, had that for quite a while. The only reason I bought it was because of me being an Eric Church fan. I knew he played hummingbirds, so I bought a hummingbird.
Fair enough.
So had that, And then after a while, I, kind of was developing more of an ear for tones and stuff, and started to really not like the tone I was getting out of the Hummingbird. Sold that the day of a gig that I had with Dave. We were playing at the Victory, and on my way, I stopped at Guitar Center, traded it in, and bought a new guitar, and that was my deep wine red D'Angelico acoustic that I had.
I remember that guitar.
So I had the D'Angelico for a little bit, and then that's when you were getting on me about, going with Breedlove.
Make it sound like I was like, look, man, look, you some bitch, you better get on Breedlove. What's that? It was more like,
that's not what you did.
It was more like, hey, I got on this thing just by sending them an email. Yes, watch out for motorcycles, folks, because most of the guys are assholes.
But, yeah, so we had the Breedlove, and then once we got this bad news of, for me, it was going to cost me over $800 to fix. I was like, all right, might be time for something new. And so did some research and some looking at different brands and models and things like that. And I was trying to think back of brands that I've played in the past from other people's guitars and things. And I had thought to myself, I was like, our good friend Dave Heisey has an acoustic that I really like.
He sure does.
And I was trying to think. I was like, I know he plays Yamaha. That's all I knew. I didn't know the brand or the model or anything. So I shot Heisey a text. And I said, hey, what are you playing? What guitar are you playing? And I said more specifically the one you take with you to the Bay. He told me. He said it's the A series, and I went on to Sweetwater's website. Shout out to Sweetwater. Sponsor us. Sponsor an episode. Send us some candy.
Took us out with candy.
Yeah. So I found one for a very good price on Sweetwater. It was on sale. It was the Yamaha A1M Dreadnought, and the one that I found, I was on the phone with a Sweetwater rep, and he's like, well, here, check this one out, because it was one that the finish on it, or the wood that was made for that one, was a deeper color, almost borderline orange. It was a deep orange. And I was like, that's the one. And I need, that's the one I need. So I bought it immediately, took it out of the box yesterday, was strumming it, playing it. It plays phenomenal. It sounds even better. So I'm pretty excited to see what it sounds like tonight plugged in.
Oh, good. I mean, I have my reservations about you playing something else, but I get it. I mean, I have several other acoustics I could go to as well. I just thankfully still have a Breedlove to play.
Well, you don't want to play your LT?
I never want to play that plastic piece of shit again in my life. Just sell the damn thing. It'd be a good beginner guitar for somebody, which is essentially what it was for me.
Yeah.
So I bought my Breedlove. I have that old Ibanez that it needs some work, but I played it out before.
Yeah.
I played at the Bay, and I have my Godin, my hybrid I can play.
That thing is nice. I played that at one of our last gigs.
And I also have my sister's Bluebird.
Yep.
As I've probably stated on record, I'm a little wishy-washy about ever taking that out of the house. And it was left to me, but of course it wasn't meant to not be played.
Yeah.
Although at first she wasn't playing either, because she bought the Gibson model then, because she just had to have the Gibson instead of the Epiphone with her engineer money.
Yeah.
So that hangs in the studio, but I could see myself at some point maybe taking that out and playing it as well. But I still have a Breedlove to play, so I'm good there. And of course, at our Ghost Light shows, if I don't feel like playing my acoustic, I got either of my twins to take. So,
yeah.
So I do want to. I'm going to interject there a little bit. We have on May 9th, we're a little ahead. We're trying to get the word out. Our good friend Rich of Twin Dicks Guitars, our bandmate and guitar dealer, I guess our drug. We are playing along with just about everybody else who's an artist for Twin Dicks, as featured artist for their 10th anniversary show we're doing at Phantom Power in Millersville.
Say radio show. Huxley Warner.
Tate Lehman's playing.
I always forget how to
New
pronounce
Damage
it.
is playing. I totally popped in my head. I don't have the whole list for you, but it starts at 3 o'clock. Tickets, I believe, are $20. I think so. I know you can get them in advance. You'll be able to get them day of, but that's going to be, we'll be talking more about that in the next month or so. But I did not want to forget that. Anyway, back to the guitars.
This was a fun one. Just recently debated pulling it out and kind of restoring it, but my very first acoustic. It's not an electric. It was a hand-me-down from my brother. That was a hand-me-down from our dad. It was a Sears catalog Harmony acoustic.
Oh,
And I was like, you know what? This thing has gone through 3 of us. It's one of those like sentimental attachment things that's like, you know what? Maybe I'll try and fix her up and just keep her going just for the hell of it, for funsies.
why not? I mean, again, beginner guitars are what they are. The LTD I have, that's a beginner guitar.
Yeah.
Cost me, I think, $280. It was nicer than anything I had at the time. You know, I had like some $30 guitar. I bought it like Ross because I was just like, I'm gonna have an acoustic in house, non-electric. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I still have. The guitar that's painted with the Little Mermaid theme.
Is that what that is?
That I gave to our friend Christina years ago. And she painted a Little Mermaid scene on it as a gift to us for our anniversary, mostly for my wife, but it was a surprise for my wife.
Yeah.
So that still sits on a stand next to you too.
Yeah.
I still technically have it, but it's an unplayable piece of junk. But I mean, literally, it's a plastic guitar. It looks like wood. It's all veneer. But yeah, I mean, there's the reason in guitars like that. And if you still have it, it has a sentimental value. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not give it a little love? Maybe you'll never play it out, but you could make it playable
That
for yourself to grab it off, next to the bedside or whatever sometime. Or
yeah,
why not?
that's how I am with both my first acoustic and my first electric. Those are 2 instruments I don't think I will ever get rid of. Because my first electric, that was mine, was and is my Dimebag Darrell signature model. Maybe I'll bring that to a Ghost Light gig sometime.
Please don't. It's bad enough you bring that Iceman all the time.
Listen, that Iceman is so beautiful. It sounds great.
I'm over here giving you grief about a guitar just because I don't like the aesthetic of them. As I'm talking about how I play what I play because I like the way it sounds. You like that guitar because how it plays and feels. I mean, it comes down to I can harass you about your 80s style low all the time. If they sound good, they play good for you, go for it. I wouldn't play the damn thing.
I was just telling this story the other day to a coworker. We were talking about like getting our first guitars and stuff, and I said, I will forever remember the entire day of me getting my first guitar. From the morning that I woke up to me going to bed that night. I woke up and the morning routine, I would have been in 7th or 8th grade, I think. The routine was my mom would take me down to the bus stop. Well, before that, we'd go pick up the mail. So we get in the car, we go get the mail, and we then sit at the bus stop. So we're sitting at the bus stop. My mom's flipping through the mail, and she tosses me this catalog that she got for carving guitars. And she's like, oh, here, check this out. You like music. And I knew of carving guitars only because I knew Peter Tork of the Monkees played carving basses. I was flipping through it, and I said, you know what? I think I want to play guitar. And my mom was like, oh, really? And so I said, yeah. She goes, well, we'll go looking at guitars after you get out of school and after I get off work. I said, all right. So we go to Marty's Music Store. R.I.P. to Marty's Music Store. I loved that store. Was looking around at all these different ones. I talked to Sean, who was the guy that ran the place. I was set on a guitar that I wound up not getting, and still to this day I've never gotten, even though I was so dead set on getting it. I was looking at getting a Made in Mexico Fender butterscotch yellow Jazzmaster. And I had it, and I was like, this is the one. I want this one. And as we were getting ready to leave, my mom said, Jake, look at that one. And she sees it hanging in the corner, and there it is, the Dimebag Darrell signature Dean with the liking all over it. And I fell in love.
I mean, again, guitars come down to it. Guitars are about what feels right, what plays right, what looks right. I cannot like something. I mean, I just sent you one of those acrylic clear body guitars the other day.
Yeah.
Because if I know anybody in my life that would play one of those, it would be. To be fair, Dave Grohl played one of those for a while. It's not like it's some weird niche thing.
I've played one of those before, and they play really nice.
Aren't they heavier than?
They are. Yeah, they are stupid heavy.
Yeah.
I had played one of those at a Guitar Center in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I was on vacation, and we
Who vacations in Cherry Hill?
we didn't vacation in Cherry Hill.
I've been there. I was there for a convention once. I was like, I'm thinking that didn't look like a vacation spot.
No.
No offense to Cherry Hill, if you're listening. I think that's where people are. It's not a destination.
We were on vacation. It was my whole family. We were on vacation in Ocean City, and my brother-in-law was like, hey, I need to get out of the house. Do you want to go to Guitar Center? So we drove from Ocean City to Cherry Hill and went to both Guitar Center and Sam Ash because they were in the same plaza together, which I feel like was a horrible setup for music stores. Like, you're going to put two bigger name music stores right next to each other.
$10 says Guitar Center put one there after Sam Ash was already there.
I can almost guarantee you, you're right.
Sam Ash had a pretty good lock on like the East Coast because the only Sam Ash I was ever in, I think the closest one came to us was Philly.
Yeah.
King of Prussia.
Yeah.
And so when I was ever in, it just felt like a much nicer Guitar Center.
Yeah. So we went to the Guitar Center there in Cherry Hill, and that's where I played that acrylic guitar. I forget who makes them.
Yeah, I can't remember anymore. It was pretty well done. I mean, I think there's more than one manufacturer, but there was one that was known for that.
Yeah.
I mean, BC Rich used to have clear Warlocks.
Yeah, they
too,
did.
But that wasn't, that Telly style one I sent you was not.
Yeah,
not
these Rich Warlock ones, those are cool.
They were like neon yellow or whatever.
Yeah, and they had an orange one.
I remember they used to have one hanging in Guitar Center in Harrisburg for a while.
Yep.
Like, it's not even about that I don't like the style of guitars. Like, it just didn't look good. Like, it looked like something Macho Man would play if he was pretending to be in a video playing guitar. You could tell he didn't actually play guitar. You know what I mean?
That's so true, though, and I love that.
It's a Warrior model or something. You know, one of those videos where the cape goes underneath their hands.
Yeah, and they're
Like,
playing up here.
Yeah, yeah. Or they're literally playing up past the nut. Like,
Yeah. No, but they're cool guitars. And I've played a couple other like acrylic things over the years that I've seen in random stores. I don't think of any of the weirder things I've seen or played between me working at Guitar Center for a period of time and then just like being friends with a bunch of people.
Now, did you ever have a chance to like physically play instead not just see a double neck?
Oh yeah, I have one.
Oh, you know what? I think we talked about this. You're right. I'm sorry.
I do have a double neck. Granted, it's not a high end one. I could very well do the work to,
Get it playable.
Get it playable and just make it what it's supposed to be. I would love to be able to, like, I've never played an Epiphone one. I have, however,
Like the SG style?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did find one on Facebook Marketplace the other day for like $500, and I strongly debated it.
Oh, I'm glad you did. Let's be honest.
Oh,
Only because, and that's big talk from a guy who has more guitars than he'll ever play anyway. But for you, you will play them. And where are you really going to get the opportunity to play that for like for one song to make a spectacle of it? You know what I mean?
yeah. I have played the BC Rich double neck that they have, where it's it's not the Warlock. It might be the Rich Bitch, I think it's called. But it's a double neck version, and it's so weird because the 12-string part of it, 12-string, all the tuning pegs are at the top.
Right.
6 of them are up here, and 6 of them are at the bottom of the body, and they run down the side of the body. And the first time I played it, I strummed the chord and immediately sliced my forearm because I dragged it across the tops of the tuning pegs.
Oh, no.
Where all the tips of the strings are.
No, thank you.
And I was like, nope, I don't need it anymore. They're cool, but I don't need it.
Yeah, I've seen, because you see all these crazy builds now.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of the internet, and you can see everything people make. I like to watch custom guitar building videos because I'm not that patient. So it's nice to see someone that can do it.
Yeah.
But I keep seeing these ones, and they're not new, but like they're a guitar neck and a bass neck.
Yeah.
I just think that's hilariously like practical.
That's
like if you're a guy that can play like the solo shows, there's a lot of guys who do solo shows that play electric and don't do acoustics like I do. Like if you were a guy who had like the whole, drum machine at their feet and all that shit, and then had a bass and a guitar with you, you could just run through licks and loop them and shit. That would actually be kind of neat.
I know in the early years of Rush, they both did that, where Alex Lifeson did the 12-string and the 6-string, and Geddy did a 4-string and a 6-string.
I did not know that, but that's because I don't care.
So, like, there's a clip of them from the Farewell to Kings tour where they're playing their song Xanadu, and, Alex goes into a solo while Geddy is playing a rhythm back end on the 6-string part of his double neck while playing bass with his feet. Like, it's so cool. It's just so cool. The dead silence is your feelings towards Rush.
Yep. Well, I mean, not everybody, again, this is the same as guitars. Not everybody has to like the same music, and I've pretty much been beating this horse dead on this show for 4 years now, 4 seasons. Rush has a following for a reason. They're considered, and they do think they are some of the most fantastic like musicians that ever did it. I just don't like the music.
Yeah.
But I had a discussion last night where apparently I'm borderline like meathead when it comes to my likes because I like radio rock, but I also like deep cuts and heavier stuff and lighter stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm like one step evolved from like the Five Finger Death Punch people apparently. So, and I couldn't argue at the point. I'm like, I guess that's not wrong. Maybe years of being in cover bands, I appreciate the stuff that's on the radio. I don't know, not everything, Lord, not everything. But yeah, I mean, it's just not music. What I've said this before, I think to you, maybe not on air. Music is for everyone, but not all music is for everyone.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Not all music's for you, but music is for you.
Yeah.
You just have to find your music, what makes stuff work for you.
Right.
So you like Rush? That is, I think, a rarity at your age. But we talked about your likes and dislikes and the age disparity of that, which is, I guess, also that's how music stays alive.
Yeah.
But you also hear me talk about Huey Lewis a lot, and I have to be reminded that was like almost 50 years ago they started writing music.
Yeah.
They started writing music shortly after I was born. So, yeah, they didn't hit big till the 80s, but yeah, they were writing music in the late 70s. Like, that shit is old.
Yeah.
But to me, it's still the freshest thing because it just always hits the right way.
Yeah.
So, and it makes music timeless, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. So, I guess now the next thing that we did actually talking about
Right.
is, and this is a normal conversation on this show, I think first of this year that we're actually discussing them, but Beartooth.
Yep, of course, we are lovers of Beartooth. We have a couple episodes about Beartooth, I think, and then devote many times in other episodes to Beartooth. But this particular reason is because they have, in fact, released a new single.
Yes.
Which we didn't even know was coming till like 4 days before they put it out.
Yeah.
Like, knew they were working on an album, but usually we get a little lead time with singles. Hey, this is going to, next couple weeks, look for it on, March 1st or whatever. No, this was Tuesday. It'll like, watch the live stream on Thursday or whatever, and you see the song, and then it comes out Friday. You're like, what? Where did this come from? But, okay. So, of course, you watched the live stream as it was happening.
I did.
Now, that was night one of they're the direct support for Bad Omens right now on tour.
Yes.
And that was the first night of the tour, so this is the first time they played that song for anyone.
Yeah.
So we actually got to see, as we'll get into the story here, we got to hear it live, the live version, without hearing the recorded version for a couple of days. So,
yes.
Go ahead.
So, well, I think it was either earlier that day or the day before, you had sent me that post that said, like, Caleb just sent over the final mix of the album.
Right.
So we knew that an album was coming. And then, like I said, either later that evening or the day after, they had posted on their story on TikTok that was like, join us live on TikTok at 9 p.m. So I was like, okay. And I immediately was like, this has got to be either they're announcing more of a tour for like late summer, right? Or new material or like an album release or something.
Right.
And so I hopped on, and it started out that they were just playing their stuff. Because I think when I joined it, they were playing Attention, and then they went and played The Lines, and then they played Riptide.
It was essentially their set.
Yeah.
I think they probably thought their set was going to start at 9, and it probably started a little early.
Yeah. So I was like, are they just streaming their first show? And then Caleb's like, we're going to play a brand new song. This is going to be the first time we ever play it, first time anyone's going to hear it. And so I sat there and watched it, and holy shit, it was Beartooth. But it wasn't just Beartooth. It felt like another breath of fresh air, but still being Beartooth.
Right. And you sent me the link. Well, you sent me a message. You watching it? I'm like, oh man, I completely forgot I was in the middle of 10 other things. So you sent me over a link to it. So I got in, and I I think you sent me just that clip.
I had screen recorded it and sent it to you.
You sent me a screen recording, so then I got to watch it, and I agree. I was like, this sounds great. I sent it down to my wife right away. She was downstairs. Hey, watch this. Jake just sent this over. And she's like, oh, I forgot about that too. And I was like, man, that sounds great. I said, this sounds like Attention and like where the last album was going. It sounds like where Beartooth's going. Cool, I'm good with it. So a couple days go by. I think that was Tuesday, right?
Yeah, that was Tuesday.
And then they released the actual song for consumption. So then you get the recorded version. Again, there's some new stuff in there, some falsetto notes. The riffage is the same Beartooth stuff. There's heavy parts. It's not much of a breakdown in this one. And I actually think there's a fake out there.
Yeah.
It seems like they're about to go in it, and it just goes back into the chorus. And and I think it was intentionally built that way. But everything about where they're going, and lyrically, it's still him working his shit out, which he's the one that said the last album kind of worked the shit out. So we're all like, what's the next album going to be? Apparently, he still got some stuff to talk about, which is great. That's what we loved about Beartooth. He laid everything he had going on from album one till now, laid bare where he was in his struggles.
Yeah.
His depression, his alcoholism, getting clean, all of that. Problems. So, good. So, you're thinking, man, we're getting new Beartooth. I don't know when they're going to announce the album. I'd said to you, my bet would be they will not drop this album until this tour with Bad Omens is over, because they will do a tour where they're the headliner to promote this album, because they always have a tour. Since like 3 albums ago, they were a headliner for their album. I think Disease is the last one. When they released it, they weren't the headliner on a tour yet.
Yeah, because when the first time I saw them in general with you,
it was Below.
Yeah, it was during the Below tour with Dragged Under and
2 other bands.
Wage War.
Yes.
It was Dragged Under and Wage War.
Yeah, and we and they had some headlining gigs on the Disease tour. Don't get me wrong, but they were doing festival spots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And direct sports. I think after this tour of Bad Omens is done, they're going to announce a tour. Because, we say, oh, my God, how many times do you tour in a year? But these blocks of tours are like 2-3 months.
Yeah.
And then they're done. Then they take a quick break. Then they get back on the road. I think in the fall, we're going to see some sort of Beartooth tour where they're headlining and they're going to promote the shows out. I think that's my belief. Otherwise, we'd be getting albums in like June.
Yeah.
Like midsummer. But also, Riptide took 2 years for when they dropped that single.
That's so true.
This better not happen with this new album. And we don't have any other information right now. But I enjoy it. I listened to it probably 35 times that day, and that's not an exaggeration. I just kept repeating it to try and get it in my head and figure out what I thought about the song, where the stuffs are. That guitar tone's still there, by the way.
Yeah.
Which we still haven't figured out. But what happened after that on the internet has everyone talking, and we're Beartooth people. We clearly are with the tattoos and our episodes and our love for Beartooth, our mutual love for that band. The internet lost its goddamn mind over what Caleb looked like in the video, what he's dressed like, and then what he's doing on tour with that. Like that, and I'm going to say this, earmuffs, kids, like that fucking matters. Is the music still good? Yes. Is he still telling us how he feels and doing it in a melodic and heavy way at the same time? Yes. Do I give a shit if he's wearing a crop top see-through shirt under his vest? Fuck no. Who cares? Why is this? There's been so much blow about this. I mean, we could spend hours like reviewing videos of people being asshats or their fucking tweets and threads and posts about what happened to Caleb. Oh, the amount of stuff I'm hearing, let alone, is he gay now?
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares if he is?
Yeah.
What does that change about anything? The people that are the biggest crybabies are guys who are insecure, males, white fucking males, like us, but not us. They look like us.
They look like us.
That are so insecure with themselves that a guy dressing like that is somehow wearing eye makeup now. Did you ever hear David Bowie by chance? Or fucking Prince? Or any hair metal band? Have you ever seen a picture of Cinderella in their prime? They look like fucking women. And that was okay. If you liked them, I did. But that time, that era, like, Kiss literally was dressed up in makeup and theatrics. Alice Cooper, your man. Makeup and theatrics. Wearing makeup on stage. Doing things that weren't manly. Like, who gives a shit? You clearly have some thoughts about this. I've been holding in. But the biggest thing, and I saw a video today that I think I sent to you. I don't know if you saw it. It was a nice long video where a guy was basically saying the same thing I feel. Yeah. At the end, he was like, the internet needs to start thinking about what you say before you say it.
Yeah.
Because you're just the zero repercussions internet where you can say anything on your mind even though you're probably wrong. Opinions are fine. If you have an opinion, you're not thinking about what that does to other people. There is just as many people jumping to Caleb's defense and Beartooth's defense as there are people that are bashing it. But there's also the people that are like, I went in a couple Beartooth groups on Reddit and stuff. I knew this was going to happen. This isn't their first album anymore. It doesn't sound, and the music's really sucked the last 2 albums, but I keep giving it a try. Then you're an asshole because you want to complain about it. You know what you do if you don't like the new stuff? You don't listen to it. You go listen to the albums you did like. It's still Beartooth. It's still Disease. It's still aggressive. It's still the stuff you like. You don't like The Surface and what they're doing now, don't listen to it.
Yeah.
Or if you like The Surface and the stuff they're doing now and you don't really like the stuff before, don't listen to that. Go listen to the new stuff. You don't have to draw a line. Well, I'm never listening to Beartooth again because they changed their sound. Every fucking band changes their sound or they die.
Yeah.
Eventually they go back to it. If they want to stay, eventually they start touching on what they used to do. Metallica did it. Korn did it. And I'm not saying those bands are as big as they used to be.
So it's funny enough that you bring up Metallica doing it because everyone, when Metallica did the exact same thing, when Load and, so they had the Black Album. Load and Reload came out.
One of the biggest albums of all time to this day, and it was made, what, 30 years ago?
Yeah.
35 years ago?
You moved to Load and Reload, and they are doing exactly what Beartooth
Cut
did.
their hair.
Cut their hair.
Kurt's wearing eye makeup.
Yeah.
Got a guy liner on. They're wearing, like, you know,
The fur coats.
flashy fur coats, and up there he's got his nails painted. Like, exactly what Caleb's doing right fucking now. Kirk Hammett was doing that in 1993.
Yeah.
People lost their fucking minds. This ain't Metallica. This sounds like shit. And I'll be honest, I like Load and Reload.
Oh, so do I.
Saint Anger's a shitty album. There's like one good song in there. Shout out to Frantic. I just think it's a cool song. You know, they had their things. Hetfield had to get sober. You know, things change with bands, but they eventually, Death Magnetic sounds like older gentlemen of Metallica writing stuff like they did when they were kids.
Yep.
It sounds like a mature version of the early stuff.
Yeah.
It goes back. Korn did that. They were doing, you know, stuff with Skrillex and doing weird shit, and then they wrote 2 albums now that sound like old Korn.
Wish they have a new one.
Because they
coming out,
brought Head back after he went on his self-journey with religion and stuff, but he came back to the band, and their sound came back to what it was.
Yep.
It happens. Limp Bizkit's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
They're having a resurgence because now they're not taking themselves seriously anymore. Not that I think they ever did. They did and they didn't. But now they're actively going, well, there are people who think we're a joke. Here it is. And it sounds like old Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Just old guys doing old Limp Bizkit. So I'm just using those couple of examples. Beartooth is free to do whatever the fuck they want with their music. And you as the people, we the people of this nation, of this world, are free to think what we want. But if you don't like it, you don't have to bash a guy until he's deleting his Instagram, deleting posts from the band because people were bashing the post because he was wearing a fucking Prada scarf. Yes, I noticed the half cut off fur jacket and the purse he's wearing around. Yes, it looks a little funny to me on stage. And I don't mean funny like, oh, look at the homosexual. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if he's bi, he's a beautiful wife. Hell, there's videos of her doing his makeup for him before he goes on stage. I don't care about that. I care about the performance. And every video I've seen this week, people, here's them singing the lines, here's saying this. Sounds like Caleb. It looks like Caleb. He's still doing his thing. And also, as that guy, that video I told Suzanne earlier, the guy, he's like, this is a guy who for the last 3 years is performing like this and shows a picture of him literally fucking shirtless.
Yeah.
All the time. Or wearing that see-through thing, you know, that
the crop top mesh shirt.
Mesh shirt. And we didn't have a fucking problem with the last album cycle, and all of a sudden we do because he put a coat over it.
Yeah.
And wore apparently a chandelier in the video. I don't know what that is. Like, the guy's making artistic choices. If you guys never seen a music video, they don't always look like they do on stage. They're music videos for performance. They're performance art. So as it is on stage. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. But don't tear a guy down. This guy clearly has a history of mental stuff. He uses his music and his connection with people to get through. And I think you and I both understand that on a personal level.
Yeah.
You know, you've written stuff to help you get through stuff. I need music to get me through stuff. Like, and that's not a minority. That's everyone.
Yeah.
Whether you admit it or not, music gets you through stuff. I say this on stage all the time. Without music, life would suck. Because we wouldn't have a soundtrack of other people going through it. And that's just what Caleb's doing while writing fucking bangers. This is a fucking banger. People didn't like Attention either. I love that fucking song.
Oh, that sounds so good.
The more I listen to it, the more I love it. You know, and I changed my tune when we did our Surface review. I said Sunshine is the jam.
Yeah.
And I still believe it's maybe the best song on that album.
Yeah.
For showing off all the different things it does. I think I Was Alive is my favorite song on that album.
Oh, yeah.
It speaks to me more now, a year, 2 years, what are we, 2 years out now? 2 years out?
Yeah.
It speaks to me more lyrically since my sister passed and just what I think about my future and what I'm going to leave behind. And that song speaks to me. And
Good.
I'm not going through what he's going through, what you're going through, what anybody's going through. There's nobody that's going to listen to this, anyone on the internet that's going through exactly what I'm going through. And I'm not going through what you're going through. We all have intertwining things that bother us.
Yeah.
But to tear a guy down because he's trying something different or just being fucking theatrical, you can see I've gone down a rant about this. I've been bottling this up because you and I are going to be the ones that talk to each other about it.
Yeah.
We had some discussion, not a lot of time to, not stuck in a tin can on the way to a show to talk about it. I'm going to take a breath and drink something because I'm getting all fired up here. Yeah.
Take a sip of your drink.
Ghost, sponsor us. It'll make you talk a lot, but you obviously have your own opinions here too. I may have hit someone, but feel free to reiterate because people need to hear it.
So everything you said, I fully agree with. Is people need to just shut the fuck up about the negativity with their own opinions of people being like, oh, it doesn't sound like Beartooth. And we talked about it earlier. It's that Beartooth was a passion project for Caleb to get his shit out, to work through things, through his problems and all this. And this is showing that, you know, he's at a place where he feels like he's free. He's important of the fucking song.
But also, I don't mean to interject. I
Yeah.
also noticed like he was saying that last album he's really getting through his demons, but clearly he's not. And I know there were some people putting it on saying, "Well, then this means he's free. Does that mean he's coming out?" Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Maybe he's into guys and girls.
Yeah.
Okay, what world do we live in? That's not okay. Well, I didn't want to get into that. I know what world we live in. People don't think that's okay. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So people have been saying like it's not Beartooth anymore. Doesn't sound like Beartooth anymore. And we said it earlier. It's like if you don't like what they're doing now, go back and listen to Disgusting or Aggressive or Disease or Below or whatever the fuck you want to listen to.
Right.
It's like you're not bound to listening to this new material if you don't want to listen to the material. It's not like you're not contractually obligated to it. Us being fans of the band and having a special connection with the band, or feeling like we have a special connection with the band and the music that they put out. Just shut the fuck up to people who don't want to listen to it or don't agree with it or don't like it.
I agree.
It's like it's so childish too, because like I'll go through the comments in their posts and stuff, and everyone's like, well, this is it for the band. And it's like, no,
Their
it's not.
career's over. Look, don't get me wrong. I understand they're playing right before Bad Omens. No one's leaving the show. But they're playing the packed houses. And every video I watch, everybody's losing their minds at the song.
Yeah.
There are Beartooth fans in that house.
Yeah.
If they didn't want to see them, they wouldn't be cheering.
I had said, through this whole week, because like we said before we recorded, that Beartooth was in Philly last night.
Right.
And I had debated going the entire week and wound up not going. But I had said the only reason I'm not going is because I don't feel like staying around for Bad Omens, because I'm not a huge Bad Omens fan. Now, they have some good material.
Yes, and I understand they probably put on a very good show. But
Yeah. So I wanted to see President, because I do really enjoy President, and I obviously have a love for, our Lord and Savior Beartooth.
yes, still my gospel.
Yes. Yes. So I was in that demographic of I was going to go solely for Beartooth. I would have left after Beartooth. And that showed and I'm sure there were other people in the same boat that they were going for Beartooth and not just Bad Omens.
Right.
And not only that, you and I have seen both those bands together, Bad Omens and Beartooth.
Now, to be fair, we only saw one song of Bad Omens because we were dilly-dallying to get into the concert, and maybe two. They were great.
Yeah.
It sounded awesome, and then I kind of regretted not watching the rest of the show, but it is what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, people just need to think before they speak or think before they post. And it not only it doesn't just benefit you to bitch about things you don't like. Think about what it's going to do to the person that you're bitching about.
Because believe it or not, he probably sees a lot of this stuff. Like the ass hat from
From Attila. Franz.
making a joke. I'm not even going to repeat a joke because he's an idiot. And apparently, from what I understand, he likes to get in it with people on the internet. And then tried to, it was a joke, man. I thought everybody would find it funny. You made a gay joke, dude. It's not funny.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, it's hurtful. And I know there's a lot of celebrities and artists that say, I can't look at the comments because, that stuff will bring you down. Especially a guy with already mental issues or, problems. But, the guy's literally deleting his whole Instagram account because he's probably getting blasted with idiots who think, keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole thing just rubbed me the wrong way when Beartooth's whole message has always been positive or about positive change in his life, getting through his demons, and hopefully we can all with kick-ass riffage. So bottom line is, you don't like it, don't listen to it. You don't need to go on and slander a guy you don't even know.
Yeah.
And that goes for all music. You don't like something Jake writes or I write, well, I don't like what I write either. But I'll slander myself on the internet. Thank you. Beat you to it. Let it go, man. Or be peaceful about it. Hey, man, you're going through something. Not my thing, man. I wish you the best.
Yeah.
Not instead, you're gay. You're wearing a shirt. Whatever.
You're wearing a shirt.
I don't care. You have sequins on. Who gives a shit? I don't know. That's the last I need to say about it because I don't want to be fired up for our gig, which we are now at, folks. We're at Parx Casino here in Shippensburg. We're gonna go load in and do our thing. It was a nice little trip, man. We don't get to do the 2-man ride, but a couple times a year. So
Yeah.
I think that's it for our little on the road again. So once again, I'm Bob.
I'm Jake.
We are
Nailed
the podcast. We'll see you guys next time.
See you
Later.
Nailed it.
On the road again.